Greetings and good morning, and welcome back to That Game Place. That's right. We're starting anew, and we're starting with our thoughts on the Nintendo Direct of the day. In fact, it's not just me. We've got two very important members of the team, maybe more on the way. Hard to say, of course, but this show is about to begin in about 12 minutes, so we need to pay attention. But first, let's bring in everybody from That Game Place that's here so far. Hello and good morning, Nolan. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pumped. I'm ready for some bananas, baby.
That's right. That's right. And our good friend Loki, who seems to be just killing it on the evening and afternoon cycle. How are you doing, brother?
Doing good, doing good. New schedule's coming along. Finally got Tuesdays back last night, so we got a little Taco Tuesday. Talked about the movie industry and DVDs and Blu-rays and all that junk going away, and yeah, it's been interesting.
Well, I've been missing you, buddy, and I've been missing Nolan. I've been missing doing this, so I'm glad we're back. This is a special edition, but we will be having at least one live a week, and you'll be getting a daily weekday video coming up here shortly. I think our schedule is much improved, and these decisions, of course, come to you from the new co-lead of the show, Nolan Thunder. Nolan, I appreciate that you are taking on the mantle of power and relieving me of a lot of work. So I'm very excited with what we've got.
It's always an honor, Culture. I'm so happy to be here amongst such smart gentlemen here. Culture, you've always done so good with everything, and I'm excited for what the future holds. And together, we'll just promise the viewers we won't go mad with power.
No, indeed. Right. Yeah. Oh, speaking of mad with power, let's bring in the former power broker himself, Jonas J. Campbell.
Goodness.
I was told to arrive here at 8:45 and there would be some kind of meeting.
Yeah, this is a live meeting. Say hi to the audience out there for the live version of That Game Place. How you doing?
Oh, hey. Hello. Hey, Davina. How you doing?
Yeah.
Actually, Loki, good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a while.
Good to see you too, Jonas.
I love it. It's like the gang's all here. The only person missing would be Marvin at this point, and Spencer.
Spencer.
Yeah. I don't see Spencer. I don't know why.
Probably because he's
Spencer returned my calls.
I think he's probably asleep, to be fair. I no throwing shade at my friend Spencer. But it's been a day, so I'm pretty stoked. We've got obviously the show revolving around the presentation today. In fact, let's bring it up here, gentlemen. There it is, waiting, ready to go. Hopefully somebody else has this pulled up, but I have it in play mode, and this is processing through the Nintendo site itself. So,
yeah. Are there a bunch of people saying "drop the price"?
I don't know.
On our chat, on theirs.
I imagine that over on their chat, that's probably the truth. If somebody else wants to pull it up, you're welcome to. There is a way to do it through YouTube. So
yeah. So something I'm going to say.
I got it.
After playing a little bit of Mario Kart World, the thing that I noticed is the animation on Donkey Kong specifically is awesome. Like there's none of this like static character thing. Like everybody is moving all the time, and Donkey Kong is so expressive in the game. Nolan, have you played much of it?
Sorry, I was cracking up because someone in the Nintendo chat said banana the price because they're memeing on lower the price. But no, the animations, Jonas, I think look stellar, and I'm hyped. I'm going to pre-order this as soon as possible. I think this might be the big win Nintendo Switch 2 needs.
I wish I could agree with both of you. And as much as I am glad that they are going to be, as they release games, they're going to be refocusing on the character look and feel, because I think that's what they're going to be doing with the Switch 2 and with these newer games. At the same time, I'm with the audience. I think that everything is too much, especially in an economy where everybody's questioning where they're going to get their groceries from. So I don't know. Loki, you haven't said anything. Go ahead.
Is it wrong that I'm kind of like that? The Who song won't get pulled again, where I'm like waiting for the library. Wow. I want to wait at least a year for the library. Ooh. See what comes out. I haven't bought one. I don't own a Switch 2, but I've got a PS5 that sits there unplugged. It's not even plugged into the wall. I got an Xbox Series X Cortana Halo Edition in there. That at least gets used. But the amount of games that came out for PS5 is atrocious. And I know Switch had a whole bunch of games, but I want to see Switch 2 games. And right now you've got Mario Kart. You're going to have Donkey Kong Bonanza. I want this to be something that I can go, okay, I'm investing the money in this and I want a good return, which means I want good games.
Okay,
yeah.
so
as far as the like Mario Kart World, since that's the only game outright other than the GameCube collection, which even on the GameCube collection, it's kind of skimpy. They showed like 6 or 7 games, which I'm sure they're all ready to go on GameCube Classics or whatever they call that. But it was Soul Calibur 2, F-Zero GX, and one more. I forget. Oh, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which I have 6 different versions of within like 6 feet of me here. That's not one that's going to sell me on this system. So I was really disappointed they didn't put some of the things that are harder to find in there. But Mario Kart World, it took me a long time to realize all of the improvements that they've made. It doesn't hit you over the head with the stuff that's better. It is better. Like the fluid dynamics in the water levels, okay, that's great. But it kind of defies my rules of, is it fun to play right out of the box? And right out of the box, I kept thinking, wow, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is so much more fun right off the bat.
Thing is, Jonas, there is no box this time.
Well, I did get the box with this one, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
okay, well, we're still live with Nintendo Direct, so when they fire it up here in the next 7 minutes, we should be good to go, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the carts that only have a key on it?
I think it's completely lame. I hate it. I used to think it was okay, but now I hate it. You know why? Because virtual game cards, I can't even, like, on one Switch versus the other Switch, I can't even get them to work between my own Switches. And so, like, okay, a game like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I play Fortnite.
Really?
I can't get them to coordinate between each other. That is a free to download game, and it still is asking me for the key card if I want to play on a different system. I'm like, guys, there has to be a like chill mode where it's like no one is stealing Fortnite. Everyone is, in fact, probably getting squeezed by Fortnite a little bit. Just let me play the game on whatever system without having to register which console I'm borrowing it from.
It is pretty lame.
It seems the bigger the game gets, the more greedy the company becomes.
Yeah.
I'm also hearing that there's only 3 actual game card, not game key card titles right now, which that is unspeakable for a console launch.
Oh yeah, I talked about this in the article I wrote for that Park Place recently. I did a review, and if they had waited like just a year to bring out the Switch 2, I feel like you could have gotten so many more great launch games. We probably would have had Metroid Prime at launch, and for them to just have this much confidence, be like, all right, we're gonna have barely anything right out of the gate. It shows they have faith in their brand, for better or for worse. You know, the Wii U, 3DS happened, and one rebound, one became a tale of infamy. So we'll see what happens here, but it's sold out everywhere.
One last question or conversation point, I think, is the chat. Do you guys know of anybody who has one of the new Nintendo Switch 2s that is actually using the chat and the video chat feature? Because anybody that I know that has one of these is not using it.
No, because most of my people I know are over 18 and know of this thing called Discord.
Yeah.
Also,
go ahead, Logie.
I was just going to say also be careful with that, because Nintendo's put out a thing with their terms of service. They can look at everything you're doing. They can look at your video chat. They can listen to your audio chat until it becomes a paid for service. You are testing this for Nintendo. That is why it is free, and they can go over your logs. They can listen to your conversations, and they can look at your video. They do not need your permission to do that, because you signed in with their TOS to basically be their beta tester for it. So,
oh my God. Could you imagine? There's a Nintendo headline for you. Could you imagine if while they're doing this, like they shut down someone who's trying to like pirate their games or make like a mod or something? Like that would be the most Nintendo thing ever.
I'm already hearing that people who even insert a MIG, no matter how they attain the ROMs on those MIG carts, they're already shutting them down.
Yep. They're breaking their system. Jonas, you are right.
Yeah. It's going to be 5 years before I stick one of those things in a Switch too. I'm going to have to get somebody's like Facebook Marketplace selling it for like $100 because they don't know how much it's worth kind of purchases before I stick one of these, one of those MIG carts in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. There needs to be a revisit by Congress on the terms of service conversation, because I believe that, and this is my rule, that you cannot have a terms of service longer than a 3x5 note card printed at 22 points. Because I believe that they use those to subvert your rights and try to make it so you don't own your stuff. That solidly is a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, I think
agreed 100%.
Games as a service thing has made that more complicated, but in theory, I appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah, in fact I would I think I might actually solicit one of my representatives and say, if you want to make end-roads with younger people, get rid of this garbage where you don't own the things that you buy.
Yep.
Well, see, I would solicit the government to delete Roblox.
Well, that would work too.
To give everyone watching at home right now a live update of the chat, there is a lot of bananas. Some people saying lower the price. Some people say raise the price. Some people want justice for Diddy Kong, but there's a lot of hype going on. This chat's moving quick, so.
What do we think the odds are that what do we think the odds are that the Odd Rock ends up being Pauline?
I think it will be her. I think they're going to pull some Yoshi's Island going on here. They're going to have like, this is set in like the past, and might be like maybe the OG Donkey Kong. Have we even seen anything about Diddy Kong being in this game yet?
I haven't seen a thing about it. Although my kids are like, is this the one where the Donkey Kong kind of looks more like the movie? Like, yeah, that's what this one is.
Nintendo's got a lot more experimental with their lore lately, so we'll see how this results.
Yep. Well, I'm curious. Nobody really does it like the Kremlings do it, and then they had that like Tiki Tribe from the DK Return series, and then they went to the Snowmads.
Tiki Tribe.
Exactly. So I don't know if my reaction to whatever these villains are is going to go away over time, but I don't know. I want to see King K. Rool in here.
So
I would like to see King K. Rool in here just because I don't want to hear complaining about no Kremlins the next 5 to 10 years again. So please, Nintendo, put them in the dang game. I'm not ready for that round again.
All right, folks, we are going to be getting a live feed here in just a moment, and it's going to be about a 15-minute conversation, apparently, or presentation, and then we'll probably follow it up with 15 minutes of reaction while we still are going to do our live reaction to this. So stick around for just a few moments after this. I'm pretty excited. I was glad we decided to reboot and restart the channel today. It seems perfect to me. I do want to ask hopefully before they start. So, well, there we go.
Too late for that.
When the world
you guys can hear this, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And
is this Snake Eater? What is this?
so
Snake Eater.
So we're going to go through the history of Kong.
I'm sure it's Pauline singing.
What in the world is this?
I don't know.
Donkey Kong Rock.
Titanic. Donkey Kong Titanic. We're the donkey of the world.
Combine your power. Banana.
nut.
Golden Bananas, the discovery of the century, made right here on Ingot Isle. This is excellent news for #1 banana fan, Donkey Kong. However, just as he's about to enjoy the notable bananas, a sudden tempest sends him deep down underground. As his adventure begins, DK teams up with Odd Rock, but it's no rock at all. It's actually a talented young singer named Pauline.
It's actually Mario's
Now,
ex.
Donkey Kong just wants bananas. And Pauline wants to find a way back home to the surface.
Is she
It's
wearing
said that
Jinko?
one's wish will be granted by reaching the planet core. So the unlikely duo set off on a strange subterranean adventure.
Why does this feel like
The story takes place in
Wreck-It
the
Ralph.
underground world, where the scenery
I'm
changes
okay with
the
that.
deeper you go. Some layers are so spectacular that it's hard to believe you're underground.
Yeah, the visuals are spectacular.
DK can run,
Well, the animation. So
Yeah,
good.
it's ridiculously
Jump.
good.
and climb through each environment.
Look at that.
Using his incredible physical
I'm
prowess,
so excited
you can
for
freely move in any direction.
This is like the
But
Donkey
that's
Kong
not
3D
all.
adventure we've wanted since like the
Almost
late 90s.
anything in your path.
Yeah.
You can smash,
Fully interactive
Crash.
environments.
and bash.
I'm going to spend hours just wrecking the environment.
You can even do this to a massive rock formation. You know, if you want. As you barrel through obstacles in your path, you'll also collect golden bananas
That did
known
not
as
look good there for a
Banandium
second.
gems.
Could be the
More on those
environment.
later. Let's take a look at some of the things this Kong can do. Punch,
Tunnel.
smash enemies,
Hulk smash.
walls,
That's not very
the
nice.
ground, and most things you can get your hands on with incredible force. Destruction can lead to discoveries, so set off a chain reaction and see what happens. Dive punch.
Ooh.
Unleash a powerful punch directly downward. How deep you punch into the ground depends on the strength of the terrain. Roll forward. Roll at high speed and send lighter
Kung
objects
Fu
soaring.
Panda.
Combine this with punches and jumps to really mix things up. Hand slap. Make some noise to collect scattered items or detect hidden objects using sonar. You can even use your feet when your hands are occupied. Tear
That's
off.
cool.
Grab a chunk of terrain and tear it off. Or tear up turnips to find items. And even tear chunks off your foes.
Okay, now I'm hungry.
Body
Swing.
dismemberment.
Grab a chunk and
Body
swing
horror,
into attack.
Donkey Kong edition.
Harder chunks can be used to break stone with ease.
Oh, is she going to be yelling the whole time?
Or smash spiky thorns.
She's Natty.
Chunk jump. Use a chunk to double jump. This will
Okay.
help you reach new heights. Throw. Throw a chunk.
Hulk
Or
smash.
aim at a target like this. Throwing a boom
Yee.
rock or gold can have
Oh
explosive
man, there's going to be
effects.
so many different.
If you throw chunks made of
button
softer material, you
combinations.
can stick them to a surface and pile them up.
Okay.
Turf serve.
Interesting.
This lets you ride on chunks.
Okay, I love this.
Speed up and aim for smaller enemies to knock them away.
Okay, not so
Make
good for the
music.
enemies.
The power of Pauline's
gonna make
singing
sweet
will
music
help
with
show you
Pauline?
the way.
Donkey Kong
It
got
can
4.
also remove these strange seals that someone left behind. You never know what you'll discover in the underground world.
That was a snake.
Is that a flagpole?
Big snake.
So carve your
The final
own
boss is
path with
Mario.
DK's abilities.
Yeah, this looks amazing. Square watermelon.
The
That's so
many
Japanese.
layers of the underground world are host to a variety of inhabitants.
This looks intriguing.
Some are mysterious and aren't too bothered by DK's destructive tendencies. It looks like Cranky Kong and his companion Rambi are also venturing through the layers of the world. Then there are the
is Cranky
giant
Kong
elders
if
who
Pauline's
call
young
the
now?
underground world home.
Whoa.
They're said to possess ancient
Okay.
Bonanza powers.
I like that one with the headphones.
Is that,
By learning their Bonanza powers, Pauline's singing can do something special. She can make Donkey Kong transform
What?
Watch out.
with incredible destructive power. Even hard terrain poses no problem. Fly through
so
the world and
cool.
smash as much as possible with the powerful Kong Bonanza.
DK
Plus,
rocking quite the
DK can
backside.
transform into a zebra. He's
What?
as speedy as he is striped.
What
He can
in
either
the
breeze over
world?
water or crumbling pathways. That's the swift Zebra Bonanza.
And you got Pauline doing the anime singing in the
He
background
can
as
also
well.
turn into an ostrich, a flying ostrich. Spread your wings and
that
soar
legal?
through the sky.
This is insane. I love it.
You can use
How did
updrafts to
Miyamoto
gain more
greenlight
air.
this?
Then drop egg bombs from great heights to send enemies
Did they
scattering.
legalize narcotics
That's
in
right.
Japan?
It's Ostrich Bonanza.
This is insane.
Bonanza transformations
So
don't
they got a
last
mammal
forever, though.
laying eggs. Okay.
You can transform again by collecting gold to build up your Bonanergy.
Okay. The localizers had a lot of fun with that.
You're not limited to when or where you transform, and you can swap between transformations. So get creative and use them as you adventure to the planet core.
Planet Core.
What in the world?
Standing in our hero's way is the Void Company, the mightiest mining operation both above ground and below. Grumpy Kong works to create gigantic corporate soldiers. Poppy Kong is responsible for subterranean info gathering, while Void Kong is in charge of the whole company. This nefarious crew is responsible for the banana-stealing maelstrom on Ingot Isle. and
So
they're
when is
heading
the
straight
Donkey
down
Kong
to the
anime
planet
coming out
core.
that pairs with this?
I don't know, maybe right away, because dang.
But no!
I like how they're stealing their information as well as their currency. They're up against the government.
Voidco blocked
Well,
off
or the
all the
deep
routes
state.
to the lower layers, so no one could reach them.
Donkey Kong Deep State.
DK and his pals will come face to face with the enemies guarding these routes. So use all the power at your disposal to take on a host of powerful foes. By defeating them, giant sinkholes will open, clearing a path to the lower layers of the underground world.
It's just another day in Disney World. Surf
Found
Hills.
throughout the underground world are golden bananas called Banandium gems.
Bananza.
They're not always visible though. Sometimes they're buried in the walls, the ground, and other places. There are a whole
I know
bunch to
someone
find.
at the office had a day where they
You
were
can
just like,
also
okay, the
obtain
whole
these
day I
gems
just
by
need you to come up
completing
with banana
challenges in the
puns to
ruins
use in the game.
found throughout
Okay,
your
sir.
adventure.
Let's do this!
Challenges include time-limited battles, courses where you'll need clever solutions, side-scrolling stages, and more.
Okay. Feeling a little bit from the rare
Keep
games
your eyes
and the
peeled
retro
to find
games.
the Banandium gems.
I've been playing Donkey Kong since the arcade
There are
game.
plenty of ruins to
day.
discover, so give them
Well,
a
there
try.
it is.
How do
Amazing.
you think the arcade Donkey Kong players feel about him being an ostrich now?
Yeah, I don't know. This is just wow.
This looks amazing.
It does. Okay,
As
I
you
want to do
collect
that.
Banandium gems, you'll gain
Skill points.
These can be used to increase stats such as your max health or the destructive power of your punches. Power up Donkey Kong to match your playstyle. For example, if you strengthen your sonar, you'll be able to detect treasure from further away, which could lead to new discoveries. Or use skill points to learn new skills.
Where are the microtransactions,
There are all
though?
sorts of items to find
That's a
as
good
you
question.
explore. Banandium chips are shaped like slices of banana,
They're getting there.
and they can be traded for Banandium gems at the chip exchange. These gold nuggets are, unsurprisingly, called gold. You can exchange gold for useful items at the stuff shop. There are fossils too.
Good one.
You can trade these for different fashions at local style shops.
All right.
Just open the closet
Whoa.
and customize the perfect fits for Donkey Kong and Pauline.
I was gonna say,
That's so cute.
Or even change up your fur color. No look is too much for Donkey Kong, or too little. Almost every article of clothing comes with its own benefits, so mix and match your look to suit the situation.
Modern games are
If
too
you find a
problematic.
treasure
to let
chest
Donkey
buried
Kong
in the
expose
ground,
too much.
crack it open, and you might receive a treasure map showing
Yeah,
the
he's too
location
naked.
of Banandium gems or fossils. Their locations will be marked on your map. Pretty helpful for finding collectibles. You can also see which fossils
3D
and
map.
Banandium gems you've collected, making it easy to see how
you can
close
take
you
them
are
to
to
the
completion.
museum for Blathers to classify the fossils.
There's plenty more to do in the underground world when not adventuring. Need a rest?
He's a house.
Carve out a space and enjoy a getaway where you can recover in bed. And enjoy listening to tunes with the music player. You might even find new discs when defeating enemies.
Better be a DK round.
When it comes to moving between layers,
There you go, Nolan.
Subterranean Eagles
Hey, there we
have
go!
your back. These
Yes!
elevators will help you easily move between layers you visited at any time. And if you get lost, no need to worry. You can always teleport within the layer you're currently exploring.
Teleport there?
Teleport?
Yes. The new way
I
of saying
love these
teleport.
designs. What was that
In photo
chicken
mode,
snake?
you can freely
I
change
don't know.
the
Looked
in-game
like a
camera
weirded
angle and
out
adjust other
chocobo.
settings to snap pics.
Okay,
Get
I
a photo
don't.
like this.
I've never cared
Or
about
that.
pics.
Unleash your inner shutterbug and
I
create
am not
your
a fan
own
of stopping your game to take a
captivating scenes.
screenshot.
By sharing a
Complete
Joy-Con 2
disagree.
controller or using
Every
a
game
separate
should have
set,
picture
you
mode.
and a pal
Oh,
can control
goodness.
Donkey Kong and Pauline separately to
I'm with
buddy
you,
up in
Culture.
local co-op play. As
Never use
Pauline,
photo
you can
mode.
unleash vocal blasts
Photo
using Joy-Con
mode.
2 mouse controls. You can also copy the
What?
material of nearby terrain to
What?
give your vocals even more texture. By working together, even tough enemies don't stand a chance. This game also supports Game Share. Even if only one player has the game, they can quickly share it to another player so they can join on their own system. It can also be shared locally to a Nintendo Switch system. Plus, you can play online between Nintendo Switch 2 systems using Game Share via Game Chat. If you need a little help with all the platforming action, Assist Mode is the way to play.
Oh, there you go.
It guides you in the right direction, halves the damage you receive.
Do you
and
want to
more.
stop having to
Assist
help
mode
your small
supports you in your
child every
adventure
2
to be
minutes?
the best Kong you can
No.
be. Outside of the main game, there's a mode where you can carve stone using mouse controls called DK Artist. Rotate to paint.
This is awesome.
Carve material.
Why
Or
is this
add
mode
some
in the
back on.
game? I mean, that's awesome, but I don't understand
You
why.
can even change the lighting
you proud
and
of me,
add
Dad?
delectable banana effects. Give it a try and sculpt to your heart's content.
That looks
Yeah,
like
I'm not doing
copyright
that.
infringement. Okay, this could be.
This game
people
also
are gonna make
supports
some crazy
amiibo
things with
accessories.
this.
A new Donkey Kong and Pauline amiibo figure is also on the way.
I'm probably getting
Scanning
that.
it unlocks Pauline's diva dress. By scanning the Donkey Kong series amiibo shown here, gold Kong tiles with explosive power will appear. Every other amiibo released up to this point is also compatible. If you scan them, you'll get giant spheres like these.
They also have the Epic Universe bands on there too.
Yep. They're all amiibos.
Look at us, CK. I love to sing more than anything.
I'm the Kong of the world.
That kid has the voice of an adult woman.
It is an adult woman.
We can make it more than
Yeah, but I feel like they've changed the nature of DK and Pauline's possible relationship here.
Oh no!
Gone from girlfriend to like child you protect.
Join the
Maybe
powerful
that's the
Donkey
deep
Kong
lore of the
and
first Donkey
talented
Kong
singer
game.
Pauline
was
as
actually
they set out
stolen
on an
because
adventure to
Donkey
the
Kong didn't think
fabled
Mario was
planet
good enough
Cool.
man for her. He's the protective dad.
my own special power? DK!
BK.
I still am not understanding
Donkey
the wide leg
Kong
jeans.
Bonanza. Available July 17th only on Nintendo Switch 2.
Well, there you go.
Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. The Donkey Kong and Pauline amiibo will also be available July 17th.
We'll try to get our hands on the amiibo, everybody, and we'll try to get you our impressions on it. It's probably gonna be like most standard amiibos, but the designs are pretty cool. Oh, that art is phenomenal. That's a
I know.
desktop background right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Well,
So what do you guys think?
yeah, good question.
I went from being like, I guess I will get this since there's no other games on the Switch to actually being excited to play this. Once they got into the thing about the transformations, that is insane. And I love a little bit of insanity in a Nintendo game.
Yeah, well,
about you, Culture?
I didn't see a new announcement for cereal, so I'm very disappointed. I wanted my Donkey Kong cereal. Very disappointed.
The problem is they're going so hard on the banana thing that it would definitely be banana flavored cereal, and I'm just not about that.
No. You put little bananas in it with banana flavor. But here's actually, I guess they couldn't do that anymore because
I'm good on that. Whatever passes for banana flavoring in artificial stuff, I'm out.
Well, regardless, I just think I think it actually does look bananas, hence properly banana themed everything. Look, I'm going to go around just destroy everything. I don't know about you guys, but like I'm seriously just going to like there won't be any part of like the zone that I'm in that won't be destroyed.
Of all the paths you could pick, and you choose violence culture, why?
Because I'm on a video game channel, and that's the name of the game.
You know
Hey,
what it reminded
the
me
news
of?
might have taught me that video games cause violence, but we don't need to enforce the stereotype here.
I don't know. What's up, Loki?
It reminded me of a little bit of Super Metroid back in the day on Super Nintendo. All the little secret areas, all the little hidden power-ups. You literally had to like run through 3 different screens, jump, bounce off a wall, get up on another place to find like a health up or a secret power or whatever. And that takes initiative and ingenuity to do, and you don't see a lot of that in games now where it's like, oh, there's all these little secret areas hidden around and there's all these little secret power-ups and you actually have to use your brain to figure out what's where and how to get to here, and that's awesome, man. So I like all the hidden stuff and all the secret power-ups and all the stuff you're going to be able to do and the hidden powers and combo this with whatever she's singing. It looks interesting. It looks more interesting to me than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. That.
We have a couple super chats I think we need to get to. So
Yes,
Jonas, if
definitely.
you wouldn't mind doing the traditional super chat reading that you do, because everybody loves your voice.
Traditional, yes. Since we're talking about Japan here, I can only see one at the moment.
Oh, okay, fair.
If you can see more, then you can bring it up on the screen after this. Chris Dickerson for $5. this reminds me of Red Faction. It was a fully destructible world too. Never played Red Faction, Loki.
It's not that one. There's another one that came out after it. The original Red Faction, yeah, there was a lot of stuff you could blow up and shoot into and stuff, but it was like a 3D or a third person view one where you could go through everything and just destroy everything. Everything was destructible. There was nothing in the game that you could not blow up, destroy, melt, whatever. But it wasn't the very first game. It was, I think, the third game.
Well, I just want to say, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I hope that with the destruction mechanic, they don't use it as an excuse, to get lazy on the rest of the design, where they're going to make like strategically well-crafted levels. Because, there's a lot of games that are especially aimed at younger viewers, I've found. Like, I don't want to use the Lego games as an example because they're actually pretty well crafted, but a lot of it is just, smash the object, smash everything you can lay your eyes on. It's kind of brainless fun. And I think I have confidence here that Nintendo is not going to take that avenue where they're going to start getting lazy with the platforming if we're going to have a lot of smashing going on. I think they'll find some creativity with it. And they were even kind of teasing a little bit. You might even be able to use some of the pieces to kind of build some things. So it seems like they got a very diverse game here.
Yeah, I like the idea that you could actually build things. I also like the idea that Mark Fields sent us a super chat early on for $1.99. $1.99. The hail to the 199 says positive vibes to you all. Positive vibes to you, Mark. It's great to see you.
We appreciate you, Mark. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, we got more thoughts on this. Loki, Jonas, anybody?
I think they're going hard in the anime stuff right now. Yeah. And I have questions, like lore questions. So it seems like I kind of said before, they're moving Pauline out of the possible girlfriend territory and moving her into like a child that Donkey Kong protects territory. And also, are all the Kongs not related anymore, or is this like a little bit of a blood feud here between when I saw Grumpy Kong, I thought, okay, well, the one Kong that went bad, but then the other two are also Kongs. So is everything a Kong? I don't know. I feel like they're changing the lore a little bit here. That's okay. I just like to know what's going on there.
When everything's a Kong, nothing is a Kong.
That's right. Here a Kong, there a Kong, everywhere a Kong.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing, though, because Nintendo is doing that thing they've done kind of maybe unintentionally, but they are experts of getting debate going on about their lore because, they kind of sprinkle in some stuff and then they don't give you the whole story with it. They've been doing that with Zelda for years. And I think this could really work in their favor because, a lot of people are going to be talking about, okay, why is Pauline so young? How does this tie into the canon of the first Mario game? You're going to get all those nerd talk going up, and there's going to be a lot of YouTube videos covering the lore. And I think they're putting in little small things here that's really going to help the buzz in the social media age. Even if everyone always is like, oh, Nintendo doesn't really go all in for, embracing this social media age because, they have their own designated online voice service. They've had their own social media platform with Miiverse in the past. Well, if you look, they have like literally a photo mode that they want people are going to put on like Instagram, X, whatever have you. That crafting mode with like the lava and building the bricks, I'm sure they want people to post as many crazy Mario and Donkey Kong characters as possible. I think there's a lot of strategic moves here being made to get the buzz going around with this game. And I think with a launch title, or not a launch title, but a launch year for a system, I think that's astronomically important. I think there's a lot of wise decisions being made behind the scenes on this game.
Well, you've got a little bit for everybody. So it's like, hey, you want to do this? You can do this. You want to completely destroy a level? You can do this. You want to build? You want to explore your creativity? Go do this. You want to sculpt? Oh, well, we got a mode for that too. Want to take cool photos? Right this way. So again, Nintendo has done this thing where they're like, you know what? Anything you really want to do, go ahead and do it and have fun. We've got a whole list of options for you to explore in this game. That's what I expected out of Mario Kart, and they're delivering it with Donkey Kong.
So then that raises a question for me. Right now, this game is retailing for $70. And it looks like the pre-orders are for $70. Do you think that they pulled out all the stops and put everything into this trailer, including all the side modes, including all the costumes, including all the transformations? Like they are trying to say this is a $70 game.
Yep. I'd agree with that, Jonas.
And I'm 70. I don't think anybody really would have been shocked if they just came out of the gate and said everything's going to be about $70. I'm still not convinced that Mario Kart World is an 80 versus a 70. This one to me makes more sense, but also I don't think DK Bonanza is going to have the same longevity as a Mario Kart game by the nature of how Mario Kart games go.
Yeah,
So,
I mean this could be a play it a few times and then ignore it for the rest of your lifetime. That's possible. But
no, ignore it for 5 years. That's how it is with the Nintendo games. You can't ignore a Nintendo game for the rest of your life. That's why they're doing all these HD remakes all the time, right?
Culture, this is going to become a certified Kong classic, and you know it.
Yeah, except I won't be playing it for at least another year because I'm going to wait for them to bring the console price down. So
I think inflation will raise your wages before they would lower the price on the system itself.
We'll see.
And if we were ever going to get
the tariff situation as well, no, they're never lowering the price. The market will catch up before exactly, but all of that will be a thing of the past before they would. I don't think they're ever lowering the price unless there's a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite somewhere out there.
I know a few people that have already sold theirs. So they're Switch 2s. They didn't like it. There's no
Culture. There you go. See if they've still got it. You can get it for a discount.
Nintendo.
I really don't see from a business standpoint. Nintendo they're not going to do like the 3DS and lower it by $100.
No,
there was the internal debate that we were having at that Park Place was on why they did it. And if the OLED model is at $350, then the only option was the Switch 2 at $400, which is not enough considering that it's an actual upgrade. And $450 is the next step after that.
To me, it was to me in a lot of ways, it's still a downgrade to have a Switch 2 because of the screen. But I was
it's huge. Though
I don't care about the size. I've had a Steam Deck for a long time. I want the fidelity of the image to be of higher quality. So, and I'm not playing it on the device anyway. Jonas, are you? No, I'm plugging it into the television.
Oh no, I'm playing it on the device. Otherwise, I'm going to have to share it with my kids.
Uh-oh.
No, for now it's a business object because I don't know, maybe we'll do some streaming of it here, and I don't want somebody knocking on my door every 5 minutes while I'm working to say, "Hey, Dad, are you done with the Nintendo Switch 2 yet?"
Don't worry, guys. Around here at that game place, Donkey Kong is serious business.
That's actually true.
Actually, is there a business suit costume in there? That would be awesome.
Yeah, Jonas's new avatar could be Donkey Kong.
Jonas Monkey Business Campbell.
I would love that. Actually, you guys are speaking my language.
Yeah, I think it would look pretty good. I think so.
Speaking of console handheld prices, I'm not trying to take you guys off on a tangent here, but have you seen the new Asus Xbox?
Yep, the Pro or the X or whatever it is.
Yeah,
$1,000.
Yikes!
Oh,
what?
No. Yeah, it's at over $1,000. Yes. Oh, yes.
Why
X version is going to be over $1,000.
Why not buy a computer?
Because this one comes with an Xbox logo on it. Why not buy a Steam Deck? How about that one?
I have one. I don't need another one.
Steam Deck 2 is supposed to be on its way too. They're supposedly already working on it. I can't confirm it, but supposedly Steam is working on the Steam Deck 2.
Right. So if you really have a lot of disposable income, these things will retail for between $7,000 and $1,000 right now. If we go by what is just on the street right now, the non-Xbox imprinted versions of these are super expensive, but it's being released as an Xbox.
But also, you're supposed to be able to play Steam on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be able to play, like, if you want to log into your Blizzard account to play your Blizzard library, Ubisoft library, EA library, whatever it is, You can go, it starts in Windows. You can just log in and have it set up to go whatever website you want to go to and download your game, run it off of their launcher, and play it. So it doesn't have to just be Xbox games. That's what I find interesting about this. Yes, there is an Xbox mode when you hit the little Xbox button, but it's going to boot up into Windows and you're going to be able to play whatever you want. As long as it can play on Windows, it'll play on that handheld.
So if does the PlayStation app is that on Windows as well?
The PlayStation app is there. So yes, you can technically play your PlayStation app as long as it's a streaming game. You can play it on your handheld, on your Xbox Ally handheld.
Right, and I'll tell you, I've seen a sudden buildup of like a dozen PlayStation portals at my local used game shop. And I don't think anybody's touching those at that 150 price point. I've seen them retail for 150, and the used places are selling them for 150 or more right now. So I think that product is a complete failure at this point. They did not we're not able to introduce it.
Right out of the gate too, because everyone, sorry to cut you off there, Jonas, but like everyone was hoping like, oh, PlayStation Portable is going to make a comeback. We're going to have a designated handheld again. And, you know, Sony has already had and gone and dashed the dreams of so many of their fans, you know, with broken promises, you know, and high hopes for the PS5 and just completely disappointing all those fans. And you have a chance for a rebound, and then they come around with the PlayStation Portal, and everyone's just confused on what the heck it even is. Like, if the Wii U taught us anything, if you're confusing your consumers, you're probably not going to have a good lifespan ahead of you.
Well, like the last time... Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you're perfect.
I was just going to say, the last time we went to Orlando, I had my Steam Deck. The wife had the Switch, and we can play whatever we want and enjoy. With those PlayStation, you have to have a good internet connection. You cannot use hotel Wi-Fi to play that thing. And if your PlayStation at home is not agreeing with your handheld, guess what? It's a paperweight. You brought it for nothing. It's a waste of time.
Even on my own, like I'll try to get streaming running unless I'm trying to stream to a PS4, which I'm not hauling a PS4 with me so that I can play my PS5. There's a step missing there. The fact that the PlayStation Portal is Wi-Fi only and on the same Wi-Fi network and doesn't play well with mesh from everything that I've seen. That thing is a paperweight, and the only thing I would use it for is if somebody else wanted to watch TV in my house. Well, you know what I have right now in the modern age? About a dozen screens in any room because of iPads and iPhones and all that. Looking at this seems like this is an everything but a Switch system right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ends up with some good emulators on it as well. So I don't want to say this is a killer at the price point, because right now, again, the non-Xbox versions of these are retailing for $900 and $1,000 right now. And adding that Xbox overlay on top of it is not going to lower that price.
I think handheld gaming is kind of a novelty, but that's just me. So I think that having the ability to have the Nintendo do what it does is also a novelty, but it's one I think more people want. I would rather sit down at my computer and do this. The only time that I use my Steam Deck is when I'm traveling.
Yep. And that's the only time mine comes out of the case is when I'm traveling. I don't use it in bed at home. We don't do none of that. It's just when, but that's great to have that ability to do that. Now, was it worth it to get like the top, with the etched glass and all that? I probably not. I probably could have just got a basic one and it would have been fine. But it's handy to have, and if you can afford it, then why not? If you can't, don't get one, because you're much better off getting a PC and spending the money that way on at least a decent mid-range PC than on a handheld.
Yep. Here's a good question.
Portable gaming has... Go ahead.
Crunch Punt says, is it actually competition for a Steam Deck hardware-wise? I don't know
better.
enough about hardware. It is.
It's better. Yeah, it's higher resolution. It's got a better GPU, better PSU, more RAM. As far as this mops the floor with the Steam Deck 1. Whatever they're coming out with the Steam Deck 2, though, that'll be interesting to see. But you have to put in a different operating system on the Steam Deck to do what this is going to do. And that's kind of the issue.
Well, you have to remember this is also adaptable because it's Linux based. I should say the Steam Deck is Linux based, so I would imagine they just add or subtract features. So it is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing what gaming opportunities there are for cross-platform. This seems to be the only thing that's capable of doing some form of that. We'll see. Maybe this will become more intriguing down the road, but the price point is, as Jonas alluded to, is maybe too high for novelty gaming at this point.
I know people for whom I would assume money is no object, and they're like, "Ooh, that's steep."
Did you see the Xbox presentation where the president was talking about you will be this new generation and the new apps they're working on and the integration with Windows? You will be able to play everything in the Xbox library, no matter what you are on. Whether you are on a PC, whether you're on the handheld, whether you're on a console, the new console coming out, everything from whatever OG Xbox games they have to the present day stuff, you will be able to play on a PC. That is what they are working on. And they're doing that because PC is going to have everything on it. Whether it's you're going to an app, whether you're going to a front end, whether you're on EA's website, whether you're on Xbox. The only people I don't see doing anything like that right now are Sony and Nintendo. You've got that little app you can use for Sony, but you can't play everything on it. Nintendo is very like, no, you're only playing it on a Switch. Yeah.
Yep.
So Xbox is the only one I see that's like, no, we want you to play wherever you are, whatever you're on. We want you to be able to play your Xbox games, your library. Take your library with you everywhere you go. That is interesting to me. And they're doing that because they're going to go to a diskless online app only system, and you're just going to have a console that's hooked up to the internet.
I think that'll be an interesting phase here, because that's the thing that Microsoft can do that nobody else can do right now. PlayStation, I think they'll stay in hardware for one more generation. Xbox is going software right now. They want to be able. I mean, they're probably going to put their own software on PlayStation going forward. Other than Elder Scrolls, because they need to make the wrong decision on Elder Scrolls, and the wrong decision is going to be making that exclusive to Xbox. So they need to make sure that they mess that up first. But otherwise, I do see Microsoft as being like, we are a software company. So
yeah, well, we're in the age of that which is entertaining is the most likely outcome. So there's that. Anyway, any final thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanzas, or on the PlayStation or any of that, folks? Got any last thoughts on any of that?
Loki, take the mic. Is this going to get you a Switch 2?
No, but it is going on a list of games I will buy when I buy a Switch 2. So I'm interested. It looks interesting. It looks good. I'm just not going to get pulled again with the console. I want a library. When I get into a system, I don't want one game. I want a library of games. Original Nintendo had 16, 18 games when it came out. Super Nintendo had a library. All through the ages, we've had a library of games when we start a system. Switch 2 had one game. Yes, you had the Switch. What?
The wounds are still very fresh from all those people that bought a PlayStation 5.
That's right.
Years and years, hardly any games to show for it.
And I won't get pulled again. So I'll get one eventually, and this will be on the list. It looks good, but not today.
Can I present an argument to that, though, before we round out? every game got delayed.
Yeah.
And some of them are still delayed. Like, we still don't have GTA 6. A lot of things that they talked about with the PlayStation 5 are all these games that are, 4 or 5 years late in coming, right? I'm not making that up. It's just everything got delayed, and everything since then has been delayed. And especially now, it's delayed because they inserted a bunch of stuff people weren't going to buy the games in the first place. I mean, that's the only downside of the PS5. The visuals are good. The backwards compatibility, good. I think PlayStation learned their lesson there. Obviously, Nintendo learned their lesson. They went at least one generation back in their console to be backwards compatible, plus having access to all these catalogs of games, like the GameCube series.
Well, but Nintendo's always been backwards compatible, unless,
Okay. Are you sure about that?
From the GameCube on, they other than when they're doing cartridges, when they switch back to cartridges, every console that they've had has at least been one generation backwards compatible.
Didn't Nintendo have a
the
console
GameCube on
that you could play your original NES games and Super Nintendo on?
No, they never had one
for third-party game.
Yeah,
okay.
Console.
Yeah.
Okay. All
But
right.
from the GameCube, with the GameCube, you could play all the game. They had actually literally had the Game Boy player where you could play any Game Boy game on the GameCube. It was Wii and GameCube.
It was
Wii
awesome.
U was Wii U and Wii, and then they went to cartridges again. The 2DS to the 3DS. Well, the 2DS was compatible with the Game Boy. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting into the hardware nerdiness here. Not doing a well, actually,
It's the best place to do it, though.
Can I respond to culture real quick?
yes.
Does anybody remember the Duke Nukem fiasco where the game took like 11 years to come out and they kept
horrible.
changing everything, right? Someone over the last 5 years said that was brilliant. We all need to do that with all of our games. We need to take at least 10 to 12 years to come out with a game. And it's like no one remembers how badly that ended and how horrible that was for that whole situation and how much money they lost.
Mhm.
And now it's the norm. And I'm like, what bizarro video game world are we living in where the Duke Nukem fiasco is the norm now
Right.
for video game releases?
Yep. Who knew Nintendo would become the quick one?
Yeah.
I know, right? How long did we wait for Pikmin 3, Jonas? How many years?
So many years. And the best hint was that they did a big graphical upgrade on Pikmin 3 to make it Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So,
Culture, any closing thoughts on Donkey Kong?
Yeah, mine are simple. As soon as I have a Switch 2, I will probably get this game. But the operative factor there is having the Switch 2.
How about you, Jonas?
yeah, I'm planning on getting this one, and I'm the opposite as far as games go. I will obsess over one game for a long period of time and complete it, and then move on to the next one. This also might be the first amiibo that I buy at retail for a very long time. So,
Hey, I think it'll be a fun. I think it gives us a good game to play in July too. We don't always get a big must-have Nintendo title in that month routinely. Anyways, a lot of times we have to wait for the fall season or something like that. So it seems like this game has a lot of content packed into it, and coming off the heels of the last 3D Donkey Kong, which was 64, a good 25 years ago at this point. It's nice to actually see a modern day console you're playing a high price for. It looks like you're getting bushels of content in it. So I think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic here. And it seems like the whole panel, we're all pretty optimistic, which could be a big win that Nintendo needs, because right now the console's biggest things are being in the news that it's expensive and there's not a lot of games. Well, this is a new game. Let's hope they can get another good, 7 of them coming, and we'll see what the narration will be about a year or two from now. So, anything else before we wrap this thing?
No, I think we're good. I think this was a great return to form as far as our live stream goes. And I want to say thank you, Nolan. Thank you, Jonas. Thank you, Stone Cold Loki. And thank me for a fun stream. And thank all of you, of course,
Thank you,
because you're the
Culture.
most important
Thank you,
factor.
culture.
You guys make the difference, and thank you everyone for showing up here today. Apologies for the lack of content for a while, but that game place is back. We're gonna have a lot of content coming forward. We're gonna have weekly streams. It's gonna be a great time, and we appreciate all you guys being here for our big comeback. And the future is very, very bright. We might not know what the future holds for Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation, or any of that, but the future is gonna be good here, and we'll assure you of that. So thank you all for coming today.
So good to be here. I always love a good Nintendo Direct.
Culture, we need you to say the iconic phrase.
Say the line.
All right. On that note, get your game on. But see, then I can't hit the button.